But this man said that, you know, he had this accident, he was operated on, he went to hell, and this demon attached himself to him. Well, the point I'm making here is that he was involved in demonic activity before he had this, quote, near-death experience. Because he's a Satanist. And he signs his letter in this most peculiar way of a skull vampire, the exhumed. So he was a Satanist. It's from a Satanist site that this letter has come. So immediately we see that there was a legal reason for demons to be resident in him. This had nothing to do with his, quote, near-death experience. The demons were there all the time. It is just that they chose the right opportunity in order to manifest themselves in the most dramatic way. You know, we just talked about Satan. He's accusing us. He's accusing us. That's Revelation 12:10. But all that he accuses us, he often gets it wrong. He got it wrong with Job, because he was in Job 1:11. You know, he challenged God, starting in verse 9. He said, does Job fear God for naught? Hast not thou made a hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. But he was wrong, and he failed. So Satan gets it wrong sometimes. But he is so smart. He and his fallen angels and demons choose the right moment to impact a person. And often he can use a near-death experience. It is, you see thousands upon thousands of them on the internet. It goes into every religion, every nation, every language. It's much the same. A bright light, a nice person at the end, and some soft words and all the rest of it. Or hell, a quick turn into hell and its horror. We actually have on the website a document about somebody who visited hell. Because we have some documents on the website, it doesn't mean that we agree. We're just saying, look, this is what people believe. So, if we just take a look at visions, because it all ties together. You see, you have positive and negative experiences in the visions and in the near-death experiences. They're positive and they're negatives. I know people who claim to have one or the other. I live next to a person who has had a near-death experience. And many people allow their lives to be governed by some spiritual experience, thinking that this spiritual experience was from God. Unfortunately, as they have not tried the spirits and checked it out, they can be leading a very miserable life. You see, if following God leads to pain and misery, why not follow Satan? It couldn't be worse, could it? We have got to ask ourselves, the crux of the matter is, what is the end result of near-death experiences? What is the end result of visions? and dreams and miracles. Does it lead a person out of error into truth? We can ask the same question about the revival in the turn of the century, 1904, that area, you know, where swept through Wales. Massive, massive. It's in all the Christian bookshops. But what was the end result of it? Well, they built chapels all over the place and everybody was running into church services. Fine. But were they obeying God? Well, the answer is no. The Jews have their near-death experiences as well. Does it bring them closer to God? They think so. But they deny, these same people who are having these experiences deny who Jesus Christ is. So we have a real dilemma. The Hindus not accepting Christ, the Buddhists not accepting Christ, but they all have these near-death experiences. Well, what the near-death experience does, it confirms you in your error. So if it is a negative experience that you're going to hell, you come back and you're going to now change your life. So you start attending some Sunday worshipping church. You start keeping Christmas, you start keeping Easter and all the other things that go along with it. But the Bible states clearly that that's not of God. That's of the great whore. So on the negative front, though you think you're now in fear serving God, you obviously are not. On the positive side, if your experience was enlightening and encouraging, this bright light, this nice gentle voice, and you're taken into a wonderful garden, and the plants and the grass are singing and all the rest of it, and the birds coming to you and all that, and it's a high. There's no question. It's that they get an emotional high. Just like the person going to hell got an emotional low, the person going to heaven got an emotional high. But did that lead them to start obeying Jesus Christ? Once again, the answer is no. Because they do exactly the same as the person who claimed they went to hell. They now become more diligent, keeping their Sunday, their Easter, their Christmas, and every other thing.